I'm Rick Howard, president of Kingdom Magic Vacations. In my job, I get to travel a lot. I explore the world on land and sea, eating in unique restaurants and discovering interesting locations. I'm always looking for new places to visit, and I want you to travel with me. Welcome to Travel with Rick. Hey guys, quickly going to interrupt the show to give you a big announcement, let you know something that's coming up. Our 300th episode. Yeah, it's good to be back home from Jackson Hole. Broke my arm snowmobiling. Anyway, that'll be upcoming in an episode. We'll tell you all about that too in a couple of weeks. But back to our announcement. Yeah, 300th episodes. We're going to go back. We're going to tell you about some of our favorite shows, things that we've done, things that we've seen over the course of 300 episodes. We're going to give you the whole 300 episode Travel with Rick history. It's going to be kind of cool. Looking forward to it. But we thought something else that would be really cool was to have questions from you guys. Maybe there's something you've always wanted to ask that you didn't post in the comments or you didn't put on Facebook. We want to hear from you. I don't care. It's your questions. Anything you want to ask us. You know, maybe where we've been, what we've liked. You know, I don't know. Your question. Whatever you want to ask. Whatever you've kind of always wanted to know. If you just follow the link at the bottom of this video or in the description on Facebook, you just click on that link. Post in your question, put your name. Be sure to put your email address so we can get back in touch with you, because we're going to be drawing some names throughout the course of the show for people who submitted questions. We're going to have some good prizes we're going to give away. So, just to recap, broke my arm snowmobiling, 300th episode coming up soon. We'll tell you more about this along the way, but for the 300th episode, we want your questions. So, anything you've ever wanted to ask, click the link below or click the link on Facebook. Give us your name, your email address, and your question, and we'll draw some names. We'll read some questions. We'll have a big old time. It's going to be awesome. Oh, I broke my arm. See you guys soon. Enjoy the video. Well, hey guys, welcome to this week's show. We're out here on our balcony of our stateroom on deck 8 of the Disney Magic. It's pretty cool, right?
Oh, it is nice.
Yeah, it's
beautiful
always
sunset
nice.
Coming on.
Got my favorite guest of all time here on the show, my favorite travel person right here with me, Leslie. We don't get her on the show nearly enough. We're just finishing up a 14-night cruise on the Disney Magic, as I mentioned. We started in Barcelona, Spain. It's a transatlantic. Okay, check it. Transatlantic journey. Yeah, coming across the Atlantic Ocean, as I mentioned. We started in Barcelona, Spain. So we got on the ship and we went through the Straits of Gibraltar and then left the Mediterranean Sea and into the Atlantic Ocean and sailed across the Atlantic to the Southern Caribbean, which is where we are now. We just left St. Kitts. We'll tell you more about some of the places we've been in a bit. But our ultimate destination tomorrow will be San Juan, Puerto Rico, and then on to see you guys at Food and Wine. Today, the day we're filming this, is actually the day that the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot opens up. And this is the first time in like over 10 years I've missed an opening of Food and Wine. So it's pretty special that we're here, pretty special to be with you, but pretty sad to be missing that too. So tell them about some of the things that we did.
Well, what did we do? It seems like it's been so long. I don't really recall
2
all
weeks.
That's a lot goes on.
Shit for 2 weeks. All right, so let's start out with how you plan a trip like this. So we started planning this trip with some friends of ours. We're sailing with a couple of other couples, and so one of the first things I would recommend is come early. I know with the way that most of the European flights go from the States, when you fly to Europe or you fly to Spain or whatever, you fly at night, so you'll leave the day before, and yeah, you'll get into your embarkation port and plenty of time to get on the ship, but don't do that. Go early. Go in. We came in a day early, and even if you can come in even more while the sun's starting to set, it's kind of but even if you can come in more, it'll help you get on the right time zone, because when we got in, we went to the hotel, checked in, and we still took a bit of a nap because we flew all night. Yeah. And then we kind of, spent some time in Barcelona on our own, looking around.
We did tell them that we did the hop-on, hop-off bus.
Yeah, which, we've been in a lot of different places on Travel with Rick, and did that. Yeah, checked out good. Barcelona, went down to La Rambla, and had some tapas and some great sangria and things. What did you think of that? That was pretty awesome,
that.
Right?
I did. It was a beautiful restaurant. Yeah. We had lots of pictures. Hopefully
You're seeing those now of the garlic shrimp and the
Sangria, excuse me.
bless you. Yeah, the sangria was awesome, and the garlic shrimp and the ham. Remember the sliced ham that we had, and the bread with the olive oil and the pepper, and what was the rice and the seafood dish that we had?
Oh, that's a paella.
The paella, yeah, the paella was really, really good. So yeah, that was awesome. So that was our first day in Barcelona, and then the next day we got up, had a nice little breakfast at our hotel, and made our way to the ship.
Yep.
And kind of met our friends then, and got on the ship and just started getting ready to move across the Atlantic. So our first port, after a sea day of course, was Malaga, which is a really beautiful place. But from Malaga we took a bus and kind of did a private tour thing with some other friends of ours, and went to Granada, and then toured the castle, the beautiful area of Alhambra, which is just an ancient, actually brought to you by the Phoenicians. You can thank the Phoenicians for that, but it's been restored and rebuilt and taken over, and lots of different owners, lots of different things, but just a beautiful place to tour, to see the castle and see the grounds and the gardens and everything. It was just gorgeous, right?
Mm-hmm. The fountains and how they lived back in those days without plumbing.
Yeah, and then had another wonderful meal there with more sausage, more ham, and that was a great lunch that we had there, with more wine and lots more ham and lots more tapas. Tapas are very big here, so if you don't know what tapas are, they're basically just little bite-sized meals that are designed to encourage conversation. Yeah, so you just have little light things. We had eggs and French fries, which was kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, that was on that one at the restaurant.
The fried eggs and French fries, and I had a duck confit, and you had a fish, and we had blood sausage. Thank you, Anthony Bourdain, for encouraging Leslie to try blood sausage.
It was good. I have to say, the name sounds terrible, but it really is great tasting sausage.
So we had lots more ham, as I mentioned, and prosciutto and blood sausage and different kinds of sausages and cheeses, and the tapas there were just wonderful, right? Mm-hmm. And so from there we went on.
We had 2 days at sea.
2 more days at sea. Went through the Straits of Gibraltar. Saw the Rock of Gibraltar at night. That was kind of cool to have Spain on one side and basically Morocco and Africa on the other side.
Yeah, the continent of Africa. There's a short distance between the two. I think they said it's like 80 miles between the tip of the Rock of Gibraltar and the beginning of Africa, which is part of Morocco and all of that. And it was really neat to know that we were that close to a whole different continent.
Right. So all in all, we had 8 sea days, 2 in the beginning. 1 in the beginning, and then 2 after Malaga, and then 5 more. So what do you do on all of these sea days?
Well, you stay super busy is what you do. Disney has tremendous programming for adults, for families, and for the youth to stay busy all day, all night long. There is no reason for anyone to be bored on sea days like this. I mean, just tremendous amounts of activities to do, and we can go over some of those if you want to.
Well, sure. We had Lela Smith on the ship, who is a Disney historian, and actually just compiled a book about Mark Davis. So she came on and talked about Mark and Alice Davis. She talked about lots of other famous Disney people throughout the years, the 9 Old Men, and told a lot of history along with Mary Blair. She told stories about these different people and different things that are like the real history of Disney. And really spent one whole day on Mark Davis, one whole day on Mary Blair, so you kind of get an insight into some of the real history of animation and history of how the parks were designed and everything. So that's one thing. They have culinary classes, cooking classes with the Disney chefs here on the ship. You can go and learn. They call these classes Anyone Can Cook. So literally they're made for anyone, just to go and learn how to cook.
And then some of the recipes that they went over in their demonstration, one was a lava cake, and then another day it was lobster ravioli. So what you do is the chef is there preparing the dish, and you're there as an audience, and you get to have this dish in front of you, and you are served this dish while the chef is preparing it.
Yep.
And it's very easy. They have monitors all over. It's in a D lounge. For those of you who are familiar with the Magic and the Wonder, it's in D lounge. So it makes it very accommodating, and it is for adults only. It's 18 years and older for adults to participate in this program.
And that's probably a good place to mention too, if you're not really familiar with the Disney ships, this is the original ship that Disney built, the Disney Magic, and then its sister ship came out a year later in 1999, which was the Wonder, and then you may be familiar with the Dream class, Dream and Fantasy, which are the larger ships that were built in 12 and 13, which are the much larger ships. So these are the classic ships, the smaller ships. And we really still enjoy these ships a lot. So that's the ship that we're on. So yeah, if you're familiar with, like Leslie said, the D Lounge and some of the great spaces. Now the Magic has just been reimagined just a few months ago, and they've done a lot of new things to the adult entertainment area.
Oh yeah.
The Kids Club took a big plus up, because now we have Marvel in there, and we have Andy's room in there.
Yeah, that
so
was
we've got a big Pixar influence there, along with the Marvel stuff. So, and it's not just for kids on these longer cruises, because they actually have it open up for adults at night sometimes.
At 10:45.
Called an open house. Later at night, you can go there, and yes, you can become Iron Man. They have a simulated Iron Man thing there, where you get to, by simulation, try on the Iron Man suit and kind of do a dance around. You see it all up on the screen. You actually, the suit comes on you just like it does in the Iron Man movie. So that was pretty cool. We went and did that one night. And there's lots of great movies on the ship all throughout the day and the evening, because Disney owns a couple of studios, so we've seen great older movies like
here's some of the movies that they had. Can you read it?
I cannot.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay, because I can remember some of them, like Great Escape, and with gosh, I want to say Clint Eastwood, but it wasn't. What was the Clint Eastwood movie that we saw?
The Good, the Bad,
and the Ugly. Steve McQueen was The Great Escape, so we went to see that, which was awesome. So lots of great old movies like that, but then also lots of great first-run movies like, what was the one that we just saw today? The 100-Foot Journey?
Yeah.
Which is a great movie, along with Avengers and Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we saw Guardians of the Galaxy in 3D the other night, which was really cool.
Yes.
So lots of great movies. Yeah, Maleficent we saw today again, which was kind of nice. So yeah, if you're a movie buff, we don't get to watch movies at home very often, so it's great to be on the ship and get to do this. It's pretty cool. I just wish you could see this behind the camera. And the sun is setting. Here, I'm going to give you a quick shot of this just because it is so cool. Look at that. What a great sunset, huh? So the sun is setting down just as we're sailing out of St. Kitts. And before we completely get away from this, Leslie, we missed a whole port, Tenerife.
Oh, yes, we did.
So where was Tenerife? I guess it was after Malaga. Malaga was our first port.
Yeah, and then we had 2 days at sea, and then we went to Tenerife.
Then we went to Tenerife.
Yeah.
So in Tenerife, we did a wine tour with some friends of ours. We actually got on a bus and went up into the mountains. Tenerife's just a beautiful port in Spain, actually in the Canary Islands. It's the largest of the Canary Islands, the largest city in the Canary Islands. And we went there and went and did a wine tour. I'll tell you about the second stop in a second. But the first stop, we tried several different wines, and you guessed it, more tapas.
Yeah.
So we had more little pieces of duck, we had more ham, we had more bread, we had cheese, we had little croquettes, lots of cool things that we had there. And then we got back on our bus and we went to another winery, which was a very old almost Harry Potterish kind of winery. It was very old, very dusty. Leslie got out of there very quick because of the dust and the mold. But these bottles, they collected the old bottles, and they were really, really cool, but they were really dusty and really dirty. But we tasted some more house wines there, and yes, you guessed it, had more tapas there as well. Lots of ham on this trip, lots of fresh sliced ham. The prosciutto and different things are just awesome, right? And that was Tenerife. And then we took off for 5 more sea days. Lots of sleeping in, lots of Disney programming, lots of movies, room service, and wonderful food. The coolest thing about sea days that I can tell you is Palo, the adults only restaurant that's famous for its wonderful dinners and evenings. They open up on sea days for brunch. And so you can go there for brunch and have wonderful eggs Benedict, a full buffet lunch with lots of desserts, a little buffet brunch, and then also hot dishes. One of my favorite is the veal and broccoli, which is just incredible. One of Leslie's favorites is the chicken parmesan, and both of our favorites are the famous flatbreads. If you remember Palo from years ago, they had the wonderful wood-fired oven that had flatbreads. They no longer do those at dinner. You can only get them now on sea days at brunch. And so you have the gorgonzola and grape, you have the spicy Italian sausage, you have the 4 cheese or the fromage, the quattro fromage. What else do we have? We have we have a margarita, which is the white and the tomato, which is really, really good. So the flatbreads are just incredible there. So that's one of the things that you can really look forward to on your sea days, is having brunch. And we did a couple with friends, and it was just awesome. That's one of the cool things about these longer sailings, is you just take time and relax and enjoy everything on the ship, right?
Absolutely. There's just so much to do.
And the tastings, we didn't even mention about some of the wine tastings,
right here,
the chocolates and the liqueurs that they'll have. So there's different tastings that you can sign up. There is a charge for those, but they're nominal, $10, $15, $20, depending on what it is. And you can sign up for an old vine red tasting, or a new white tasting, or it could be, as I mentioned, chocolate and liqueur. Or it could be a champagne tasting, maybe even a rum tasting on some of the sailings, so, or a whiskey tasting, martinis, and they teach you how to build these drinks, not just to mix and you can go to a mixology class and actually learn a bit about bartending, and what are the key components of a drink, and how you mix different flavors, and how you build a drink, and how you do different things, what glasses to use, and all those things are just very, very confusing about how to be a good bartender, a good host. And speaking of being a good host, it's not just anyone can cook, but you can also go and learn how to fold napkins, or learn how to set up and be a better entertainer at your house, and set up appetizers and things like that. So there's lots of art of entertaining things that are going on as well as ship tours around the ship. Like they have one that starts in Palo that's called The Art of the Story, which will tell you the story. Disney always tells a story with their ships and with their movies and with their attractions and with things that are going on. So you can learn more about that on the sea days as well. So lots going on. We didn't mention about the Build-A-Boat. Tell them about the Build-A-Boat. Max and Goofy's Build-A-Boat. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. They had this going on all week. I don't know how long they had the families participating in it.
They built these, but they worked on these boats for a while.
Yes, they did. It's called Goofy and Max's Boat Race, or boat building, and they had a boat race at the end.
Well, it wasn't really a race, but
there were
three
make
categories.
Sure you could say that it was floating.
Yeah, there were 3 categories. So one was most Disney, one was most creative, and then one was most seaworthy. Now the first 2, your boat doesn't have to float at all. It doesn't even have to get in the water. But if it's most seaworthy, it does have to go in the water, and it has to support a full 12-ounce can of Coke. And it does have to float, it can't turn over, and it can't sink.
Right.
So, and that's how to be a contender in that. And did we decide? We thought we heard that you had to build it with things that you found on the ship.
Yep, they were resourcing the ship.
Yeah, so you would find people, the things that they give you to wipe your hands, the wipes. If you're familiar with Disney ships, every time you go into a restaurant, the cast members are there pulling out wipes to give you to wipe your hands. So those containers, those make good floats for boats. So a lot of people were using those as like their base or their hull, and then really, really creative. From very small boats to very big.
There were really big ones.
Big boats. I'm telling you, these were awesome. Yeah, they were very creative and very, very cool.
Families
so that was a lot
working
of fun
together
to
create a masterpiece for their family.
And you can win some pretty cool prizes too.
Oh yeah, they did.
Some
They
pretty cool
really,
prizes.
and it was quite ingenious the way that they not only had the float device underneath it, but then they would put siding on the side of the boat, so you couldn't even see that it was floating on those little either a water containers
Right.
or the the white things.
Yeah,
So it's really
the ballast things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, because we're getting back to our trip. So now after 5 days of sea, we finally made it to our first port in the southern Caribbean, Antigua. Antigua was pretty cool, right?
Yes, it was. We did an excursion here, right?
We did do an excursion in Antigua. We actually did a catamaran sail and lobster lunch.
How could I have forgotten that?
It was very, very cool. So Antigua is a very beautiful island. Just you can see Montserrat off in the distance, which is an active volcano island. And this is a very mountainous island, has some very beautiful areas in it. That one was at St. John, what was that? Jolly something we went to. Jolly Bay.
It was Jolly something, I don't know, we took pictures.
And speaking of Jolly Holiday, we also saw Mary Poppins. That was one of the movies that we saw. Going back to movies, sorry. Just had a flashback there. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But in Antigua, we did this wonderful catamaran sail. We went to 2 different beaches on our catamaran, and then they cooked these amazing lobsters right out on the deck of the boat. They had a big barbecue grill out there on the back of this catamaran, and they cooked these amazing lobsters for us. So we're swimming around in the beautiful Caribbean, the Caribbean, but not the Caribbean Ocean, but the Atlantic Ocean, and we swim back on the boat, have a nice rum punch, and a nice big lobster.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty cool.
It was a lot of fun. Very nice.
That was pretty cool.
Yes.
Then our second port, the Southern Caribbean, is one of our favorite ports, St. Martin. Been there lots of times, have some favorite places that we like to go there, out by the sea, and have some nice cheap libations and some great chicken wings and different things that we like to do there. I still don't even know the little name of that place, and I just know where it is. I don't think it has a name.
It does have a name, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, I gotta remember that. And of course,
Yeah.
so that doesn't happen
But anyway, it was
anymore.
very cool. So we enjoyed St. Martin a lot for that. And then our third port in the Southern Caribbean was today in St. Kitts. Now, unfortunately, we found out when we got to St. Kitts, or just before we got to St. Kitts, we found out that in St. Kitts today, it was a national holiday.
Okay.
So there were lots of things that were closed, including our excursion. Our planned excursion with Disney got canceled, which was going to be a railway. I love trains. It was going to be a railway train trip and then a sailaway thing, so a floating thing. So I guess basically we were going to take a train to one place, get on a boat, and come back to the ship. Didn't happen. So we ended up just getting us some friends and walking into town and checking out the beautiful island of St. Kitts, which was mine and Leslie's first time being here, and then also Disney Cruise Line's first time calling on St. Kitts as well. So that was pretty cool just being here for that, right? Enjoying the wonderful island and,
Yeah, it was really pretty.
and spending some time there, and then coming back and having lunch on the ship and seeing a couple movies and doing this video for you guys. So now we're on our way to our last port, which will be tomorrow in the beautiful port of San Juan, Puerto Rico, another place that we haven't been. And what's interesting about this is Disney's going to be here for a few weeks, running the whole Southern Caribbean out of San Juan. They're going to go to Barbados, they're going to go back to St. Kitts, back to St. Martin, and what's the one other thing? Yeah, Antigua. So got some great ports that they're going to be doing here. So yeah, just a wonderful Southern Caribbean itinerary that Disney's always kind of moving their ships around and doing these wonderful different itineraries and stuff. So tomorrow we'll spend a little bit of time in San Juan, fly back to Orlando, spend the night in the airport. I'll get on a plane going to California. I won't tell my Led Zeppelin joke there, but anyway, I always think of the song "Going to California" when I get on the plane. going to California. I always play it on my iPod there, on my phone. But anyway, yeah, so that'll be our next journey, and then hopefully within a few days of that, we're going to get back and going to be bringing you guys some great stuff from Epcot's International Food and Wine Festival. We're so excited about that. I don't know how this is, you may not even see this video until after those videos are done. That's probably the way that's going to work out. So by the time you're seeing this, probably Epcot's Food and Wine Festival is already over and you've already seen those videos. But it has been a wonderful cruise, and it's still not quite over. We got a great last night dinner, and got some great entertainment coming up with Disney Dreams. We didn't mention that. The nighttime shows, which is an awesome thing that Disney does.
Just
we have some great
ending.
entertainers. Oh, we didn't mention Bernie. We got to talk about Bernie.
And I had that written down here.
Yeah, but yes, so Disney Dreams is one of the Broadway style shows in the Walt Disney Theater that's going to be showing tonight, along with Villains Tonight we saw, and
the numerous variety acts that they have.
John Charles was on the ship. We get to see him from time to time. He's one of our favorites. They had a couple of magicians. Was it?
Beatlemaniacs.
Beatlemaniacs were awesome. We saw them actually on Princess. Unless they even cried during the John Lennon number, which was pretty cool. You know, not cool that she cried. It was a very cool John Lennon number.
It was, it's very touching.
Yeah, it was really
and
nice
you know,
to see
just
that.
Magic and just all different types of variety shows for families, so that every night is not a theater performance, but it's a different form of variety act, other than, you know, just always like a Broadway style show, which is nice.
Right, and then at night you've got Fathoms, you have Keys. Keys is a new space that used to be...
Cadillac Lounge.
No, it's Cadillac Lounge on the Wonder.
I know, but because it was called Cadillac Lounge here too, wasn't it?
It's Cadillac, no, I don't think so. I'll have to look that one up.
Oh.
But it's Cadillac on the Wonder.
Oh, they didn't
Can't recall what it was here now. But anyway, now it's called Keys, so it's a piano bar. It's on the boat, so every night there's a guy in there playing piano, and he'll do different sets too. He might do American songwriters, he might do an Elton John thing, he might do Billy Joel, or he might just do old Broadway tunes or whatever. So kind of has a theme for that. And then he also just does requests, and he tells stories. So that was the guy that was on this time, but there's different people on here from time to time. And, you know, so that's there. We have to tell them who was in O'Gill. So anyway, let me finish before we jump into that. But then you have Promenade Lounge, and you'll have on this cruise there's a couple singing in there called the Dreamers, and so Promenade Lounge. Yeah, they've been on the Dream before. Imagine that. And they've been really awesome. But then there's another space called O'Gill's on this ship, and we ran into a friend of ours.
Yeah, that we haven't seen in several years, Bernie Griffith.
Bernie Griffiths has been playing. So if you guys, any of you guys are familiar with Disney's Vero Beach Resort, where Leslie and I live, for years there was a guy that played guitar there on the weekends named Bernie Griffiths, and he has been like a institution there. Everyone loves him. And Leslie and I were coming through the Barcelona airport. Actually, we're coming through the airport in North Carolina, and we had a connection. And we thought we saw him. We thought it was him. We looked at him and was like, no, that's just too weird. But we were pretty sure it was him, but we didn't say anything. And then we got off the plane in Barcelona, and sure enough, he actually was on our flight to Barcelona, and we're sitting in the Promenade Lounge the first night. We're going through the list of activities, and we saw his name come up on the screen, Bernie Griffiths and O'Gill. So we hightailed it down there, and sure enough, it was our old friend from Disney's Vero Beach Resort.
The cabin room.
Yeah, the cabin room, exactly. And he's been playing guitar for the last 2 weeks, with the exception, of course, with a couple nights off. He's been playing in there, and we really have enjoyed the musical stylings and humor of Bernie Griffiths all cruise long. It's just been awesome. He's a great guy. So big ups for Bernie, and big ups for all the entertainment on the ship. It has just been amazing, as I mentioned. So I know we've probably gone long on this video, but hey, it's been a long cruise. We had a lot we had to tell you. So just wanted to thank you for watching this week's episode, sweetie. Thank you for being on with us and helping out. And I've had a great cruise with you. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And of course, we'll see you at Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. Probably already have. I know it gets a little mixed up. But of course, we want to see you right back here next week for another episode of Travel with Rick. So long, everybody.
Bye.
When it's time to plan your next vacation, you need the experience of someone who can help you make the best decision for your vacation dollars. With over 18 years of experience, Kingdom Magic Vacations can help you plan your next trip to incredible destinations like Disney, Universal, cruises, and all-inclusive destinations. Our team of travel planners are with you every step of the way. All you have to do is relax and enjoy your vacation. We do all the work. Call 866-972-6244 or visit kingdommagic.com to start planning your vacation today.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for watching this week's show. We're here on Disney's Boardwalk at the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando. That's the Boardwalk Hotel over there if you can't see it. But behind me is the beautiful Yacht and Beach Club with the coolest pool on Walt Disney World property. It's even got a pirate ship slide going right into the pool. It is really awesome. Listen, we just wanted to remind you to drop your email address up there in our box. Subscribe to our feed. That way, every time we put something new on Travel with Rick, you'll be the first to know, and you won't miss a thing. If you want to find out other stuff that we're doing, check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/travelwithrick. That's where we put our question of the week. You can meet other Travel with Rick friends, find out where we're going, everything we're up to. If you're on YouTube or iTunes, sure, we got channels for you over there as well. Be sure to subscribe to those and check those out. All right, you never know where we're going to be next week. So we could be here, we could be halfway around the world. But check us out right back here next week for another great episode of Travel with Rick. So long, everybody.